Hello guys, it is Shivam here. Welcome to a brand new video where we are going to make a quiz app with the help of Flutter from the scratch. So on this video, we are going to cover stunning user interface, API integration, quiz categories and many more. So do not forget to hit that like button and let's keep the like aim for this video of 1k likes. I know you will definitely do that. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button so that you won't miss out on any of the upcoming videos we upload on this channel. Now let's get started. But before we move forward, I want to introduce you with app crafting. So if you are looking for an app for your business, school, etc., now don't look further because we are going to make your budget friendly app from the scratch for both Android and iOS. You can contact us with our email or Instagram ID and get your first app with app crafting. Now let's move to the app. Now let's move and we'll make this trivia or quiz app from the scratch. So if you are new to this channel and you are watching this video or making this app for the first time, I want to tell you that I have already made a quiz app before on this channel with the help of Firebase. So I'm trying something new because here now I'm going to use a API to make this quiz app from the scratch, and here with the help of API there will be a different categories that I'm going to show, and there will be one question and a four options just below this question how basically the quiz app works. So I will paste a link in the description box if you haven't followed the old video where we have made a quiz app with a Firebase and a complete app from the scratch. And this is something that I'm trying new with the help of an API. So here the API we are going to use is a Ninja API. We have already used the Ninja API before in the Codes app. So I'm trying to use this API again to make this quiz app from the scratch. So let's move to the Ninja API website and let me show you what all API we are going to use to make this quiz app. So here you can see a API Ninja's website, and here you can see that there are lots of APIs that you can use according to your need. So the API we are going to use is a trivia API. So this is a trivia API that we are going to use, and here you can see the link that we going to use in the app. So this is the link and to call the API, and here you can see that there is a different category you can pass in this API like an language, general, food, drink, geography, toys, games, music, etc. So we are going to use some of the APIs, not some of the APIs, some of the categories in our app, and that categories will be shown in the app, and according to that the trivia or the quiz will be shown in the app. So here you can see that when this API will be called, there we will get the result because we need to pass a category which is music. So it will show the category music, the question that we are going to show, and the answer. Now here you can see that there is only a one option, but how basically the quiz app works, there is nearly I think so four options, and in the four options there is a one correct answer. So here we just get a result of one answer, but I will use something like one more API that I have seen which is a random name. So let me random word, I think so that was a random word. Yeah, so here it is, and here you can see a random word API, and here through the random word API will show one correct answer, and we'll call this API and will show the rest three options. So I'm sure that you are getting what I'm trying to explain, but if not, don't worry, I will show you how to will integrate these two APIs and will make the quiz app from the scratch. So let's move to the our app first, and here in the lib folder we'll simply create a new folder name which will be pages, and inside the pages folder first I'm going to create a onboarding page for our quiz app. So we'll write onboarding.dart and we'll simply import the package by using material.dart, and we'll write a stateful widget which will be simply our page name which is onboarding. Now so we'll write onboarding. Now we need to write a scaffold, so we'll write scaffold. Now a body, container, child, column. So body, container, child, column, children. So here it is. Now here you can see that I have created the images folder, and here I have added a two images. So first one is the background that we are going to use in the onboarding page, and one is a logo. So our app name is Trivia Wars. So I have used this logo, and now let me show you the logo. So this is the logo that I'm going to use, which is Trivia Wars. And to call this image in the images folder that we have saved, we'll move to the perspect YAML, and here we'll move to the asset, and we'll simply call this images folder. And now we can simply call all the image that we have saved in the images folder. Now let's move to the onboarding.dart page again, and here we'll simply write an container. Now we need the our background image to use a complete height and width. So we'll simply pass the height, which will be media query dot of context dot size dot height, and the width will be media query dot of context dot size dot width, and it will use a complete height and width of the screen. Now here I need to pass a decoration, box decoration. I think so we don't need a box decoration now. We can simply pass a child. We can pass an image dot asset, and we'll simply call the images folder and the image file name, which is simply a background dot jpg, yeah, something like this. So let me call this page so that I can show you what all code I'm writing on that dart file. So I'll simply write the onboarding page name. So here you can see it, but here you can see that there is some like a space. So we need to just pass fit box fit dot cover, and it will simply cover the our screen size. Now here you can see a debug banner. So you can simply remove this debug banner by moving to the main.dart file, and you can pass debug show check mode banner to false, and it will simply remove it from here. Now after this, here I want to show my logo. Now to show the logo, I need to like overlap image over the image, because our logo is also in the form of the image. So when you need to overlap one widget over the another, you need to use a stack widget over here. So I will simply remove this column. We don't need a column, and will simply rename to stack. Now here I can simply overlap one widget over the another. So I will show you how I will do that. So I'll write image.asset. Now we'll write images folder name and a logo dot png. So here you can see our app name. Now we need to center it. So if we'll write center, it will simply center our app name. So here you can see a trivia was. Now after the app name is done, I want to show one button named start playing. So while pressing that button, the user will directly move to the home page where they can simply start playing the quiz app. So we'll simply write a container, now a width, which will be a media query dot of context dot size dot width divided by 2. Yeah. Now here I'm using a media query because I'm making the app highly responsive. I'm not using any fixed width or something, because I want this app to be responsive, and if we test this app on the multiple device, we get a better result. Now after this, I need to simply pass a child and a text widget over here. So we'll write a text. Now in the text, I need to simply pass a text that I've told you, which is start playing. Now we'll simply pass a style, which will be a text style. Now a text style, and a color, which will be simply like colors dot white. I think so black. Let's keep it black. Yeah. So here it is. Now here we need to pass a color to the container, which will be colors dot white, and here you can see the container, but I need to bring it over here. So I will do one thing. I will simply wrap up with a column widget, and will simply pass main axis alignment dot end, and here you can see the container. Now we need to center it over here, but let me make this container completely, then we'll center it. So we'll pass a font size, which will be 20.0, and the font weight will be simply like font weight dot bold. Yeah, so here it is. Now we can simply center this text by using a center widget, and the height will be something like 50, and a border radius will be border radius dot circular 10. So here you can see a button name start playing. You can provide up to 20 or maybe 30. Yeah. Now after this, let's center it over here. So I will do one thing, like I will simply center it down like this, and we can simply pass the margin from the bottom. So we'll write margin edge inset only from the bottom, which will be 40.0. Maybe we can do up to 50 or 70. Yeah, 120 is good. So here it is. Now if you want, you can increase font size up to 24, and if you want, you can increase size of an container 2. So let's keep it 1.5, and let's increase the height up to 70. 70 is too much, maybe 60. Yeah. So here you can see a button name start playing. So here it's look good, and by tapping to this button the user will directly move to the home page. So let's move, and let's first create the UI of our home page. So we'll write home.dart, and we'll simply import the package by using material.dart, and we'll write a stateful widget which will be home. Yeah. Now after this, we need to write a scaffold and a body and a container and a child, a column, and a children. Now after this, but before creating the UI of our home page, I want to tell you that I have noticed that many of the viewers are loving our videos but haven't hit that subscribe button yet. So I have a small request from you all. Please show your support by hitting that subscribe button, and let's join this awesome Flutter family, because I'm planning to bring some more awesome videos on this channel. So don't miss out by hitting that subscribe button. So let's press this subscribe button down below. So I hope that you have pressed that subscribe button. Now let's move forward. After this, we need to do one thing. We need to pass a background image here also. So we need to copy this container again, and the image where we have passed the background image, and we will move to the home.dart and we'll paste it over here. We'll remove the column and we'll simply write a stack widget. Yeah. So let me call this page so that I can show you what all code I'm writing here. So we'll call the home page from here. Yeah, something like this. So here our home page. Now in this home page, what I'm thinking that here we'll show all the categories. So categories that I've told you in the trivia API. Uh, so where is trivia API? Yeah, here it is. So here I'm going to show some categories. So let me pick some categories that I want to show. So if you want, you can choose the categories according to your need. So I will show music, and I don't like mathematics, so I will not use mathematics. I will use music, and let's keep, I like geography, so I'll keep geography. I'm a foodie person, so let's keep food drink, and I love nature and science, so let's keep science nature, and let's keep one more, which will be entertainment. So let's keep entertainment. So I will show you 5 categories over here, so you can choose according to your need. Now here I will do one thing. I will simply create a container. Now a child, a column, and a children. Now we'll simply pass a row and a children. Now in the row, we'll do one thing. Rather than passing a row, we can simply pass a list view so that we can simply scroll the categories, because we are going to use our 5 categories, and 5 categories will won't fit in this screen. So we need a list view so that we can simply scroll and select the categories. So we'll pass a list view, and here in the list view, I will do one thing. I can simply pass an container. Now here I will pass a decoration, a box decoration. Now a color, which will be simply like colors dot white. So here it is. Now here we have passed a color, colors dot white. Now we need to pass a child and a text widget again. So we'll move to the onboarding page, and we'll copy this text widget and we'll paste it over here, something like this. Now here we need to simply pass our first category name. So our first category name will be music. So we'll write music. Yeah. So here you can't see the text widget now because we need to pass some margin. So we'll write edge insert dot only from the top, which will be 50.0. Yeah, so you have used a list view. So there is some render box overflow error. This usually happens when you pass a list view. We need to pass like a spacing, like how much spacing list view should use. So you need to pass some command like how much space list view should take to show that all the container in the horizontal space. Now after this, I need to simply wrap up with a widget and will write and expand it. Something like this. Yeah. Now here you can see a complete width of the screen that the container took. So here we can simply pass a width 100 and it will don't take a width because it simply override this container width with the expanded widget. So here we need to do one thing. We need to simply pass an container again and we'll paste it over here, and here we need to pass that we need to show the in the form of scroll direction, which will be axis dot horizontal. So we'll write axis dot horizontal. Yeah, something like this. And we can now pass an container like this, and the height which will be up to 100. Yeah, so here you can see the two containers. Now we can simply do one thing. We can pass some margin. So let's do one thing. Let's pass the margin from the left position to, which will be 20.0. And if you want, you can pass some more margin from the top up to 70, and margin as insert dot only from the right 20.0. Yeah, so here you can see now the two containers. Now after this, you can pass a width to this container. You can pass a width like 100, and you can simply like center this. Yeah, now if you don't want, you need to pass the height. Sorry, you need to pass the height because here, as I've told you, that we need to pass the spacing, that how much space list view need to take. So we need to pass the height over here. So if you want, you can simply adjust it from here and something like this. Now after this, we can do one thing, like we can do with up to 120 and a border radius, which will be a border radius dot circular and a 10. Yeah, or you can pass up to 30. It's up to your choice, and let's keep it 50. Yeah, now it's look good. So here you can see our first category, which is music. Now we can pass our second category. So we'll copy this container again and we'll paste it over here, something like this. Yeah, and our second category, let's keep it geography. So we'll paste the geography over here, and a G will be like this, geography, and you can adjust the width like 70. Yeah, so here now the third will be uh, food drink. So let's copy this container again, we'll paste it over here, and we'll simply pass food drink. Sorry, copy this one, paste it over here, we'll pass food drink. Yeah, so now you can see that you can simply scroll this because we have used a list view. Now the fourth one will be our as I've told you, we are going to use science and nature. Yeah, so we'll paste it over here and we'll write science nature. Yeah, you need to increase font width, so it is a science nature. And last one is, we are going to use last one, which will be let's keep it general or entertainment. Let's keep an entertainment. So let's copy this container first. Sorry,
copy this container, paste it over here again, and copy this entertainment and we'll paste it over here, something like this. And we need to increase, not increase, make the text in the bold form. So here you can see the our 5 categories, and we can simply scroll them and can choose the category that we want to play quiz. So now after this, like for an example, if the user have pressed food drink, now once they press, we need to notify, not notify, we need to show something like that, that this respective category has been selected. Now to show that, we need to simply change the color of this category and the text color too, so that it will simply highlight that this category has been selected by the user. Now to do that, we'll use a simple structure. I will don't make anything complex, because I want that this app to be made by complete beginner who are learning the Flutter for the first time. Because if I will use list view dot builder, and there will be like a item count or something, that will be very very complex for the beginner to understand. So I will simply keep all the things simple, and I am not using any type of extra widgets or something. So here I need to use a boolean character, and I will, as I've told you, I will keep the thing simple. So I will use a boolean character, and will use music is equals to true. So it is our first category, so I will simply keep it true and other two false. So we'll use a geography, we'll write a geography which will be false, and food drink will be also false. So food drink will be also false. And a fourth category was science nature, so we'll write nature science nature, which will be also false. And entertainment, so we'll write entertainment, yeah, which will be also false, something like this. If like wrap with a widget gesture detector, and for an example, if the user press music, and once they press music, in the on tap method will simply make the music to true. So we'll write music to true, and other to false. So we'll write geography to false and food drink to false. I am saying the others category to be false is because, so like once the user has selected geography, now when they press to music, I want that geography to be in the normal form, that it shouldn't highlight that geography has been selected. So this is the way we can make our app better. So we'll write food drink to false, and a science nature will also false, and the entertainment will be also false, yeah, something like this. And we'll use a set state, so that it can simply refresh the page once the user tap this option or a category. Now here, once the music is true, I will show the different container with a different color. So let's do one thing. I will copy this container again, and we'll paste it over here. And here we'll do one thing. We will do, we'll simply change the color to orange, and we'll change, a music will be like this, yeah, we'll simply change the color to white, yeah. So here you can see a music. Now we need to also show in the highlighted form. So if you want, you can like use a different color shade according to your need, like what you are really looking for. So this is the color that I'm going to use. Now I want to show also in the elevated form, so that it will simply highlight that this category has been selected. So we'll write elevation 3.0, and we need to wrap up with a container again, because we have passed a margin outside this, inside the material widget, and we need to pass it outside the material widget, and we'll simply use a border radius again and we'll paste it over here, something like, not over here in the material widget, yeah, something like this. So here it is, yeah. So now you can see it clearly. So it simply highlight that this container has been selected. Now after this, let's do this case to all the other categories. So we have added all the functionality for the other categories that we have done for the music. Now when I'll tap to this geography, you will simply see that it will change the music to a normal form and the geography in the highlighted form, which I was telling you. So by this form, we can simply show the highlighted category, same for the food, drink, science, nature, and the entertainment. So it is working brilliantly, and you can see that it will simply show the highlighted categories in the app. Now after this, once the user select a category, I want to show one container over here where we can show the question and the four options that the user need to select. Now after this, I will do one thing, like here in the column widget where we have wrote, we can simply write an container. Now the height will be media query dot of context dot size dot height divided by 2. Yeah. Now the decoration will be box decoration, and we can simply pass the color, which will be colors dot white. Yeah, so here you can see the container. Now we can pass some margins so that it won't get stuck to the right side of the screen. So we'll write edge insert dot only from the right, which will be 20.0, something like this. We can pass the size box, which will provide the height or space between this list view and the container. So we'll write a 30.0. So here it is. Now we need to write a border radius. So we'll write a border radius dot circular 10, or we can keep it up to 20. And now here we can simply write a question that we want to show. So to write a question, I will do one thing. I will simply pass a child, now a column, and a children. Now here we need to pass a text widget. So let me pass the text widget, and we'll copy this text widget. We'll paste it over here, and we'll simply copy one question. So let me find some question. So we'll write, who was a midnight rider? I don't know who was Midnight Rider. So we'll paste it over here, and now we can do one thing, like as you can see that the text stuck, or you can see a completely stuck from the left and right side of the container, which doesn't look good. So we'll do one thing, we can pass some spacing. So we'll pass a spacing size box height, which will be 20.0. Now after this, we can do one thing, we can wrap up with a container widget. We'll pass a width, which will be media query dot of context dot size dot width divided by, I think so, 3. Yeah, but this container should use a maximum width, which will be width media query dot of context dot size dot width, something like this. Now after this, I think so we can dot, yeah. So here it's look good, I think so. We can pass a question mark.
I have wrote the text like who was the midnight rider over here, and you can simply pass a text align dot center to center the text and the width that the text should cover when it's shown in this container. So now here it is done. Now after that I need to show the four options that the user will select one correct option in that four option. Now here I need to simply create a container, now a child, now a text widget again. So we'll copy this text widget and we'll paste it over here, and here first I'm going to write a random name of an famous person. So I will write Bill Gates. Now here I will simply do one thing. I need to first pass a size box which will be height 20.0. Yeah. Now we'll do one thing. We'll pass a width which will be media query dot of context dot size dot width. Now the decoration, box decoration, border, we'll write a border dot all. Yeah, so now here you can see the border. Now we can simply pass the margin edge inset dot only from the left 10.0 and from the right 10.0. Yeah, now after this, as you can see that here you can see the first option. Now I think so we need to pass some more margin so that I can see this option clearly. So we'll simply do up to 20 from left and right. Now here I can simply change the border color. So we'll pass the color and the colors dot black up to 45. Yeah, now we can also increase a width of this, which will be 2.0, and will pass 20, I think so 24, and will be okay. We'll remove a font weight bold. We'll pass font weight dot w 500. Now we need to pass an height which will be up to 50, and we'll simply center this text. So we'll pass a center widget and we'll pass a border radius which will be a border radius dot circular 30. Border radius dot circular 30. 70, or we can pass up to 60. Yeah, so here it is, and here you can see the first option. Now if you want, you can increase like height from the top, and here you can see the first option. Now let's add rest 3 option and the correct answer in this rest 3 option. So first is one is Bill Gates. Now the second one will be, I will write like Albert Einstein. So we'll write Albert Einstein. Sorry if spelling will be wrong. I think so it is correct. Yeah. Now we can increase some more height. Albert Einstein. Now the third will be, let's keep what we will keep. Let's keep Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong. Yeah. So third option is Neil Armstrong, and fourth option will be the correct one, which is Paul Davidson. So we'll copy this answer and we'll paste it over here. So here you can see the overflow error because we need to increase the height of this container. So if you want that you need to make it responsive, you can simply remove this height and it will take according to the size of the options that we want to show. We can simply pass the size box which will be height 30.0. So here you can see the 4 options, and we need to paste it something like over here inside the column widget. So here you can see the 4 options. Now if you want, you can center this container so that it will look good. You can simply pass up to 80. Yeah, and if you want, you can push the categories from the top. It is just that it should cover complete screen. It shouldn't look like that there is a dead space on in this app. So we'll pass a size box, and here we'll simply do 90. Yeah. Now let's move, and now we are going to use the Ninja API to show all the quiz that we have just made in our app. Now here I will simply create one function name which will be like fetch trivia or quiz. So I will write future void, and here I need to simply write fetch quiz. So we'll write fetch quiz, and here as I have told you that we need to pass a category. So we'll write a category, and here we need to write async. Now a final or response is equals to await http. Now here you can see that we need to pass a http, copy the http package from the perf dev. So let's move to the perf dev, and here I will simply write http package, and will move here and we'll move to the installing. We'll copy this package and we'll paste it over here, something in perspec ml file. Yeah, so let's remove this version from here and simply run this package. Let's move to the home dart again, and here we'll do one thing. We'll copy this import function 2 and we'll paste it over here, and we'll simply write http dot get. So here you need to write as http, yeah, dot get, and you need to get the URL that I have shown you, which is in the Ninja's API. So we need to copy this HTTP link and we simply paste it over here, and here wait a second, we need to simply pass like this, and here we need to pass a category that we have selected. So we'll simply pass the category that will pass in the string, through the string. Now here it is done. Now after this, here we need to pass some header, because it simply says that you need to pass some header over here, the header and a X API key. So we need to pass the API key over here. So in the header, first wait a second, yeah, header, and we need to write a content type. So we'll write content, and first we need to write type, content type, and it is an application. So we'll write application, and it is in JSON format. So we'll write JSON. So simply write a content type, application, JSON. Now after this, you need to pass a API key. So here we'll do one thing. We'll copy this X API key from here and we'll simply paste it over here. And here I need to pass my API key. So to pass the API key, let's move to the pages folder and we'll create a new file name, which let's keep like service.dart. And here I will simply pass a string and we'll write API key, yeah, something like this. And here you can simply paste your API key. So I'll just writing API key. So you can simply pass your API key, and now where you can find the API key, so just sign up in the API Ninjas. It is totally free. You can simply sign up by using this button and just create your account, and you will find one API key and simply paste it over here. So here, now after this, I will simply write like API key, something like this. So here it is. So it will simply get the string that we have wrote from the services.dart file. Now after this, here we need to pass a response code. So in the response code, I will simply write if the response status code is equals to 200. That means if we have run this API and we have get a successful result which shows like in the code language a 200, then we'll simply get the data from this API. So we'll pass a list which will be a dynamic, a JSON data and we'll write equals to, and we'll simply JSON decode, and we'll decode the response that we have get over here. So we'll write response dot body, and here you can see that we have passed a list. The reason to pass a list, because here you can see a square bracket, so the result we get while calling this API is this result. So here you can see that there is a square bracket, so that's why I passed a list over here. So the square bracket indicates a list, so it is in the form of the list, then it is in the form of the map. So first we need to call the list, then a map, then we need to get this respective field. So here I will do one thing, like once we got the list, we can simply move to the map. So we'll write JSON.data is not empty. So we'll check that. For an example, if the data we get over here is empty or not. So for an example, it is not empty, then we'll simply move to the map that I have told you now. So we'll move to the map and we'll simply write a map string dynamic. Now the reason for writing string dynamic is because here you can see that it is in double inverted comma, so it is an string. Now here I pass dynamic because the result that we are getting over here, I mean this result in the blue color, it may be, it will be in the form of number or anything, so I'm not sure that it will be exactly like string. So that's why I passed a dynamic character over here. Now dynamic is something, if you don't know that, dynamic, like it can covers everything like a string, a boolean character, a number, or like anything. Now we can simply pass our map name, which is a quiz, and here we'll pass a JSON data and we'll get the data. Yeah. Now after this I need to create some strings so that I can first store some questions. So I will write a string question, question, question. Yeah. And we'll simply pass question is equals to, and we'll write our quiz, and in the quiz we need to write exact field name, which is a question. So we'll copy this field name and we'll paste it over here. Yeah. Now we need to also get an answer for that question, so we'll write an answer, and here we'll get an answer. So we'll write answer is equals to quiz is equals, sorry, not equals to. Now here we need to pass an answer, so we'll pass an answer over here like this. So here it is done, and now we need to pass a set state so that the data we have stored over here will frequently get refreshed. And here we have wrote a fetch quiz function. Now after this you can see that there we have passed a question, which is this question, a correct answer. So for an example, if I will take this question, so the correct answer is Paul Davidson, right? So here we have just passed one question and one answer. Now the rest three options. Now to show the rest three option, as I told you in the starting of the video, that we are going to use our API, which is a random word. Now here you get to know that why I'm trying to pass a random word. So through the random word, we'll get the random word for the rest three options, and we can make a complete quiz app. Now after this, we'll do one thing, like we'll create a function for the rest options. So we'll write a future. Now after the future, we'll simply write a void, void, and we'll write rest option, and here we need to simply pass an async. Now a final. Now we need to pass a response. So rather than writing the code again and again, I will copy this code again,
and we'll paste it over here, something like this. Now we'll simply rename all the thing that we need to pass. So here you can see that there is this link we are going to use to get a random word, but here you can see that there is one parameter named limit. So the limit is something that it will show that how much words you want to show in the app. So in the limit I will simply pass the limit like I want to show the three options, so I will pass a limit up to 3. So we need to pass a limit over here. So I will do one thing. First I will copy this and we'll paste it over here, something like this. And here we need to simply write a limit, which is this limit. So copy this limit over here and we'll paste it over here, and the limit which will be, yeah, so we need to get a 3 options, so that's why passed a limit should be equals to 3. Okay, so now I have done some research to make the app for the quiz app, because when we are calling this API, I mean to show I mean to say the random word API, this API, so we are getting only one result, which is a single word. But here you can see that we are making a quiz app, so we need a three rest 3 options. So there is an limit, but here you can see that there is an limit, and here you can simply pass an limit like how much words do you want to get from like 1 2 or 3, and by using the limit you can easily get a word. But as I am developer and I take as a challenge, and I thought that I will not buy any premium for this API, because I know that there will be many viewers who are not able to buy the premium of this API ninjas. So I've thought that by using this API without buying a subscription, I will simply get all the 3 words for our app, and it will be a completely 3 different words, and then we can directly show as an option in our quiz app. Now after this, what I have done that here I have wrote a function name rest option. So let me show you what all code I have wrote. So here you can see that in the response I simply get this API. So this API I was talking about. So this is the API. Now here you can see the application JSON, and the content type the same that we have wrote above, and the X API and the API key. Now after this, if the response is true, that I've told you that here we have passed a map. The reason we have passed a map, because here it is not a list. In the top there was an list, so we have used the list, but it is a map, so we have passed a map. Now if the data we have find is not empty here, then I use a string word and simply store the word, and the word, which word, this word. So this is the field that I simply call, and I store in the string name word. So I think so you are getting what I'm trying to understand. So here I'm calling the API, here I'm getting the map, which is this map. So here you can see the map. Now the string word, and through the string word field I am simply getting the word, and in the this word. So after this I have wrote options dot add word. So let me tell you where this option come from. So I have created one list string where I can store some string, where I can store some string in the list name option. So I've simply create an empty list name option over here, and I'm keep on adding the word in that list. So for an example, if this API run for the first time, it will simply like pass an option like this word, and this word will directly add to the options list. Now here I've got the first word. Now I need a rest too. So I've used my brain, and I thought that if I will call this function more 2 times, I will get a rest 2 words, and I will get a 3 words for my quiz app.
without buying any subscriptions. I'm telling you again because I take as a challenge. I thought that let's make this quiz app with an interesting API calls, and I can show you how we can make a function recursive call again and again. So I've simply passed like if the option dot length should be less than 3. That means that it start from 0, so 0 1 2. You know that the list start from 0, so 0 1 2, so we have got 3 word. So until we get a 3 word, we'll keep on calling the rest option over here. So for an example, if you want to get 4 word, you can simply write like 5 and it will get you the 4 word over here. So I need only 3 word, so I will simply write a 3 and it will simply call the rest option function again and again until I get a 3 word over here. So this is the thing that I have used. So now let me show you what result we will get when I will simply hot restart this app. So I have called this rest option in the init state. So to test like how this function work. So I will do one thing like you can see that I've already tested, but I will test in front of you. So I will simply hot restart this app, and here you can see that we have got first word, the second word, and the 3 words. So this is the result we are getting while simply printing the option list. So we have successfully get a 3 word in our option list without buying any premium subscriptions for this API, and this is the thing that I want to show. So you can simply look to the code if you have any doubt. Like I have simply make a recursive call, and by this option you can simply get to know lots of the thing about a recursive call and how the list are used in the app. So if you like my idea like how I have take as a challenge, and I want to show something new by just a single API, how we can call a single API multiple times and can get the result. So do not forget to hit that like button. I think so I deserve a like for this thing, and this is the extra thing that I have taught you, and it will really helpful when you are going to make a big apps. So once we got a rest 3 option, now let's show this rest 3 option over here. After this, we'll move to the text widget, and here in the text widget you can see that I have wrote option to replace all. Now here you can see that in the result we are getting is in the form of the square bracket. So for an example, if I will simply call like option 2 over here, you can see that there will be a square bracket, but it doesn't look good if we print with a square bracket. So I've just used this command to simply remove this bracket over here, and it will simply remove the square brackets from here. Now let me write all other functions. So first one is this, second one will be this, and third one will be this. Yeah, so these are the 3 options that we want to show in the app. Now here do not forget to pass this command, something I want to show. Yeah, so here do not forget to pass this command like until we didn't get the complete list, we need to show a circular progress indicator. So if you won't write this command, you will get an overflow, not overflow, a size error that the option length is not true, because we have already passed our option command over here on this text field. And last one, we are going to show an answer that we get. So we'll write print an answer. Yeah, so let's call this fetch quiz in the init state. So we'll write fetch quiz. We'll simply pass in category, and we'll pass the category which is music. So music. Yeah, so this is the category. Now simply hot restart the app, and here you will get a first 3 option and the correct answer. Yeah,
So we need to also pass a question over here. So let's move and we'll simply write an question. So we'll write a question like this. So here you can see the question and the four options. So it is the thing that we want to show. We have got a question and the four options, and this is how our quiz app will work. Now when I'll tap to the different option, I want to show the questions accordingly. So to handle that, I will do one thing. I will simply move to the music, and we need to call that two functions that I've told you now. So here we need to pass an async. Now we need to pass an await, and we need to call first one, which is rest option, and then we need to call await and the question that we need. So the question that we need is a fetch quiz. So here it's a fetch quiz. Now but before that, we need to simply pass the option to space. Yeah, so we need to do that, otherwise it will keep on adding the list string in this list again and again. Now here we need to pass a category name, which is music. Now here you have wrote in the first character is capital, but make sure when you're calling the API, the category name should be exact what it is shown over here in the trivia API. So this is how you need to pass a category. You can't simply pass a music with a capital M. It will simply throw an error. Now after this, let's pass all this state to other categories. So here it is done. Now I'll simply hot restart the app. Now here you can see that this page is loading, and here I've got the quiz for our music category, and here you can see the question and the four options. Now when I'll tap to geography, it will simply load the screen, and here you can see that we got a question related to geography and the four options. So it is working brilliantly, and this is what we are expected and how we need to get this all the thing. So yeah, it is working brilliantly, and our cues and our main goal of showing the question with a rest four options is done. Now here you can see that there is a question and the four options. Now according to the quiz app, if I will select any of the options over here, it should show me the correct answer with a red border, sorry, a correct answer with a green border and a wrong answer with a red border. So let's execute this function that I have told you now. So here you can see that there is a different container that have been shown over here. So here I will do one thing. We'll move to the first container, but before that I will simply create one boolean character which will be like answer now should be equals to false, and by this answer now boolean character will keep the track like if the user have pressed any of these four options. Now to track this container, we'll do one thing. We'll simply wrap up with a gesture detector, and in the onTap method we'll simply pass that answer now should be equals to true. Like if the first container is tapped, then we'll simply make the answer now to true, and we'll simply pass a set state. Now let's pass this case to all other containers. So we'll simply wrap up with a gesture detector again on tap, and we'll paste it over here. Now the third one, gesture detector on tap, and a fourth one, gesture detector on tap and here we call an function. Yeah, so here it is done, and we have wrote a function for all this container that we have shown. Now here comes the main case, like we need to show the border color with a different color according to the user. Select an option, like if it select the correct answer, then I have told you that will show green. So here we'll do one thing, we'll move to the border color and we'll simply write that if answer now will be true, like if the user have pressed this container, then we are going to change the color, otherwise not. So here, and if the answer is equals to the option, then we'll simply show the colors dot green, otherwise we'll show the option colors dot red. Yeah, something like this. Like if answer now will be true, then we'll move over here, and the last will be colors dot black 45. Yeah, so I think so it should work. So let me test the execution of it. So when I'll tap to this slave text, it shows me the that this is a wrong option that I have selected, because the correct answer for this question is queen. So here it's worked brilliantly, and now we can do one thing, we can simply hot restart the app again, and here you can see that we have got another question. So here the answer is again I think so queen. Now let's pass this case to all the other options that we have wrote just now. So we'll pass like if the answer now is true, then we'll move to the answer is equals to the option 1 string, then we'll simply show the colors dot green, otherwise colors dot red. Yeah, so here it is what we are going to pass, and we'll do same for the other. So let's copy this so that I won't need to write it again and again. So we'll paste it over here, something like this. We'll simply change the option to, and here we'll pass an option. Now here is the one thing that I'm thinking about it, like if we are making the quiz app, then there will be a case like, for an example, if I will tap to the, I will guess the answer, like for this question I will guess the answer from these four options, but we have passed the answer to the last container. So each time the user will get to know that the last option is the answer of this question. So it is not like a quiz app that we are looking for. We need to simply like shuffle this options in this four container so that the user can't get to know that the fourth option is the only answer for this question. So I'm hoping that you are getting what I'm trying to say over here. So what I was talking about here, like what I have called one, I have wrote one function named shuffle list. Now here, once we get an option list, I want to simply shuffle the strings that store in the option. By this way, I can simply like shuffle the options that have been shown in the app, and the user can't get a correct, like a fourth option is the only correct answer for this question. So each time they will get like, then they can't play a quiz because they already know the answer for the each category. Now after this I have, that's why I've wrote a shuffle list function over here, and it will completely shuffle my strings that will be stored in the option list. Now to call this function, I will simply pass an else over here, and will simply pass the shuffle list function. Yeah, something like this, and it will simply shuffle my options over here. Now after this I will do one thing, I will simply pass an option 3 for this. Now if you need a code related to this, because if you are facing any problem to write a code along with me, you can simply find the code link in the description box. I will paste a code link in the description box. You can simply get a code from there, And now I will do one thing. I will simply pass this over here, which will be a third option. So I will write 0 1 2, yeah, so third option. And now we'll copy, and so here you can see the error because we haven't passed a third option till now. So we'll do one thing, we'll copy this color again and we'll paste it over here, something like this. We'll pass option 3 over here. So now we'll simply hot restart the app and I will show you what I was talking about. So here you can see that there it passed a 3 function. So we need to change the command. From here we need to do up to 4. So we'll simply hot restart it again, and here you can see first, second. We'll simply hot restart the app again. So 1 2 3 and 4, yeah, so it's worked brilliantly. Now here when I'll tap to this any of the answers, I don't know the answer of these options. So here you can see that this is the correct option that I was talking about. So it was showing like in the fourth one, but now we have simply shuffled this one. So now I'll simply hot restart the app again. So now I'll tap to the correct option. So here you can see that the correct option simply change the location from 1 to 2. So this is what I was talking about. And here we have made the complete quiz app by simple API integration. We haven't use a firebase, but if you want to learn a quiz app with a firebase, you can find a link in the description box where we have made a complete quiz app from the scratch with the help of firebase. So in this video I know you have got to know lots of things regarding the Flutter app and how to integrate the API, how to recursively call an function and everything, and how to use a list in the Flutter app. So by simply following this app, you can get to know lots of thing regarding the Flutter function and how this works. So if you are facing any problem to write a code along with me, you can simply find a code link in the description box. And if you are looking for any app for your business or your school or your resume, then you can simply visit our app crafting startup website and you can simply find our mail and can simply mail us for the app that you are looking for. We'll simply make a budget friendly app for you. Until then, keep coding, keep having fun. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.